welcome to the stream. It's me, Digi. Welcome back to FS 2020. We are at Philly International Airport. We're at the GA side at a place called Atlantic Aviation. We're going to do a few flights in the Phenom today and take in some airports in New York State. Gonna go to, I think, Stewart, which I think is Newburgh, and then we're gonna go to Block Island. So, welcome aboard, grab a chair. Let's go ahead, hop on down to the plane and start getting ourselves ready for departure. We do have, FSLTL running, so we do have some real traffic from the actual airport. But we're going to be going Bizjet today using November 6532 Zulu. So there we are. Let's go ahead, start getting in the plane and start figuring out what to do. The plane is started, but there's a lot to go through. So let's go ahead, start flipping some switches and figure out where to go. Panel lighting up, and let's get some overhead lighting. Where's the overhead lighting? Oh, the overhead lighting was in the same spot. Let's get some upwash in the cabin for our friends, and we'll get our nav light on for now. We should have gens and batteries on. We have the GPU plugged in, and chocks are on at the moment. So let's see, courtesy light check, emergency stuff we're just going to bypass along with the water barrier. We just updated our AirX cycle a few days ago, so we're good. Emergency equipment check, and let's go ahead and take care of the passenger stuff, which reminds me, gotta close that door. There we go. The door is now closed. Alright, so, let's see. Oxygen bottle valve. We do have supply control. Now it's at the PAX auto. Let's go ahead and pressurize. Evac to pressure and try again. Okay, electrical, we do have Gen 1 and 2 set to auto. Batteries are on. The GPU is on. So, electrical panel. Then circuit breakers, fuel pumps should be set to auto. Let's go ahead and hide the yoke for now. There we go, both fuel pumps are auto. The fuel transfer is not connected, or not working, I should say. Not working, not turned on. ELT is armed. Pusher cutout. Disregard. And then gust lock and rudder gust lock, we should be set. It is not, the controls are not locked in place. Heating panel, let's go ahead and turn on the heating. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and turn on bleeds. Pressurization to auto. And hydraulic pump set to auto. ADS AOA set to auto. Ice protection, I don't think ice is going to be an issue for today's flight. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Landing gear lever is confirmed down. We are going to already take care of pressurization, air conditioning as required, fire extinguisher panel, bypass. Start-stop knobs are both in the stop position, and flap lever is at 0. We're going to be taking off on runway 35 today, so I would say flaps 1 should be fine, it's long enough. Parking brake is currently set, and seats and belts, I'd say seats and belts are good. And that is it. Alright, so welcome aboard the Coxburg Phenom 100. Back in my FSX and P3D days, I would use the Coronado Phenom 100. This one is the Coxburg Dev Team Phenom 100, which is a great plane and has held up really well over the past years. So we're good. Definitely good there. Let's go ahead and get the flight director turned on, yaw damper on so I don't forget. And let's plug in our flight plan as well right here. So, flight plan, we're going to go ahead and use what I have in my Navigraph Charts app. I'm not using SimBrief today. It's just going to be a few quick flights around, so don't expect on needing to file a flight plan. I'm not flying on VATSIM. I'm going to use FSLTL today. There's not a lot of VATSIM coverage right now anyway. So today we're going to depart runway 35 at Philly. So let's go ahead and get started. Philadelphia, like the cream cheese. We will take runway 35 and the departure is going to be the Philly 4 out of 35. And the flight plan says we go direct Mansec, which is the only, I'd say the only wrinkle in this thing. Make sure the Philly 4 is added. Okay, so Philly 4 is added. And where's Mansec? Can I add Mansec anywhere? Actually, it should be part of the departure, but let's just try to add Mansec manually. Yeah, it doesn't pick it up. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just let the computer do its thing. And if we are good, then we should be set to finish the departure. Mansec is loaded, and destination is going to be Kilo Sierra Whiskey Foxtrot, which is Stewart International in Newburgh. And we're going to land on runway 34. 34 is next to the GA area, and if we land slow enough, we are most likely not going to be landing on the runway for airline ops at the moment. Now, let me check out METAR TAF real fast. So, windy, winds are 330, gusts 22, wind 17. So actually 33 is right up our alley, which is fine. Now, for the procedure, let's go ahead and pick the approach. We're going to choose the RNAV 34. And we will take, I think we're going to take the initial approach fix, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, let's take a look at the plan, because I think that was the plan anyway. Let's go to the approach. Lana, Debabe, and Hepti. Was it Hepti? It was Helep. That's weird. I don't see Helep anywhere. That's fine. Okay, we will do vectors. Minimums at Newburgh are 900 feet. So that should be fine. $900. Set. Okay, so Mepti, Filga, KDED, and then runway 34. And if we go to FinP and hold FinP is a 3,900 foot climb, 3,900 feet, and it looks like I accidentally activated the approach, but that's okay. Now we're good. So en route, we have two waypoints. One is Lana, and the other one is Babe. So let's go ahead and plug them in. There's Lana, and then let's plug in Babe. Okay, so there we are. And that should take care of the flight planning. Now, 77 nautical miles for flight. What makes sense? If my final approach fix is going to be 2,500 feet, and I literally have a 55 nautical mile leg and probably a 30 nautical mile one, it's like 80 nautical miles. I don't want to have to come down too far. So what altitude was that? 2,500 feet? So 2,500 feet, say it's 3,000. 3,000, if I'm going to lose 16,000 feet from 19,000, 18,000 feet. 18,000 feet would be roughly 21,000. So lose 18,000 to be 60 nautical miles. So literally, by the time I get down to Lana, I'll probably already be getting my descent. So I think I want to cruise at flight level 210 if I want to. It's not going to take very long to get up to 21,000 feet, especially if I climb at 170 knots. But 41 nautical miles, that's kind of cutting it. Let me think. I think 19,000 is probably a good enough altitude. That should be fine. That should be fine. Okay. So, there we go. I would definitely say we are good. Okay. Yeah, and I'll set up my altitude for 19,000. Now we have the departure, we have the waypoints, and we have the approach. What I have to do is activate vectors to final once we get there. And since it's an RNAV approach, I don't have to worry about tuning in ILS. So we should be fine. We should be fine, I should say. Okay, so flight plan set. Am I missing anything? Yes, alt cell. I would say 190 is fine. And speed will set when we're getting out of here. And again, we'll do flight level change to get up to altitude. So there we are. 190 for the climb, and we are going to taxi down Alpha, Delta, cross runway 8, cross 27 right, and then line up on 35. Alright, there we are. That is the flight plan. How much fuel do I think I'll need? I can bypass that by just topping off everything. I suspect I'm not going to need more than, say, 70% fuel to get there. And 340-pound payload, we should be good. All right. Now, in the event that I have to return to the airport, I will probably either use runway 26 or line up coming on 35 over the Delaware, which should get us out of the way of most traffic. Um, Only problem would be landing 35 would be crossing traffic with most of the airline traffic that flies in and out of 27 right and 27 left. So hopefully we won't have to return. And that's it. All right, cool. Okay, now parking brake is on, so I can remove the chocks at this point. And what do we have? Chocks are gone. GPU is currently on, and we should be getting out of here shortly. Oh yeah, of course. Checklists. So, before we start, let's see. Winds, aircraft orientation. Winds right now are winds 310 at 15, gusts 26. We're taking off on 35, so that's fine. Gear pins, maintenance status, VOR check log, flight log. Lights is required. We do have nav lights on. We'll get the beacon light going once the engines start. And parking brakes. Parking brake is set, chocks are removed. Circuit breakers, ignore. Nav database is updated. Oxygen, ignore. CVR test, ignore. Fuel quantity and balance, we have 1,929 pounds, and runway 35 is 6,500 feet. That's roughly twice as long as the runway that we're going to land at Block Island. So I don't foresee a problem with rollout. Even if we have to take off at 150 knots, we should be fine. This airplane, I would say on average, rotates around 130, 140, given current load. My guess. So, let's see. Gotta go through test panels and double check my setup in radar and flight director, comms, transponder, taxi takeoff briefing. Okay, so again, we're gonna taxi down Alpha, Delta, cross runway 8 and 27 right, or runway 26 and 27 right. And let's go ahead and set our altimeter. It's calibrated 3046, and we're going to go ahead and set our transponder code. Repping 2257, and we'll do out reporting. And then we will set up Barrowmans at 900 feet. That is for Stewart. Okay, that is it. That is set. Okay. And we should be good to go now. Okay, now, is there anything I'm missing prior to getting this bird started up other than the lighting? I would say turn the upwash off, and we will fire up the engines ourselves and dismiss the GPU. Oh, of course, ignition. Ignition switches to auto. We confirm the throttle is idle and flaps are 0. We'll adjust flaps once we get the bird started up. Let's go ahead and dismiss the GPU and get the plane fired up. Okay, so just a default GPU from MSFS default staff. We don't have GSX running at the moment. I don't intend on using it today. And quick external check, looks like the entrance door and the luggage door are both closed. No other open doors except for the gear. We should be good. We should be good. All right. Okay, battery voltage is 25.4 and dropping. As long as we don't go before 24.8, we should be, I think, okay, which I don't intend on doing. Let's go ahead and fire up the engines and finish up the rest of our setup. But before we do that, let's go ahead and fire up the test real fast. Annunciator lights and fire install.
Fire. Fire. Stall. Stall.
Okay, test pass. Let's go ahead and fire up the bird. Here we go. Clear on the left, clear on the right. Engine number 2, please. Okay, engine 1 is coming up. Hey, so good to see you, my friend. We're flying Bizjet today. Phenom. Going to Stewart and then to Block Island. No filler landings today. Block Island is a very short runway. We're either landing or going around. Engine 1's coming up. Let's go ahead and finish our checklist real fast. Okay, engine instruments are awake. GPU has been disconnected. ELEC emergency doesn't function like it used to in the Coronado. Flight controls, let's test. Left, right, forward and back. Full left rudder, full right rudder, controls free and clear. And let's double check our trim. Trim, I'm probably going to set to about 5 or 4 today. And flaps 1 are set. And ice protection is required. Blockout time, current time is 2024 UTC. Flight time is probably going to be about 25 minutes, I'm going to say, maybe less, maybe half an hour up to Stewart, and then I'm estimating block time probably be there by 21:30 Zulu. And that's it. Alright, so let's go ahead and start our taxi roll. And again, confirming jogs, covers, cargo doors, control lock, GPU are all removed. So there we are. Check is complete. And let's go ahead and release parking brake and begin our taxi. So good to see you. Welcome aboard. Let's go ahead. Fly plane. Parking brake released. Flying it real time using FSLTL. So we should see real traffic. I did see Frontier flight taking off on 27 right earlier, actually. Okay, clear on the left as we taxi down Alpha. This plane doesn't exactly have an idle taxi, but at the same time we're moving pretty good. Okay, clipping along. Let's go ahead and turn the landing lights and strobe on since we're going to be crossing 2 runways in the next like 5 minutes. Alright, slow down a bit. Okay, so runway 8 is right here. And all my travels into and out of Philadelphia, I've yet to actually see anybody actually using this runway. But then again, you know, I'm usually sitting in a tube, looking out the side of the plane, so you usually don't see anything about this runway. like this view actually. Alright, ground speed right now is about 22 knots. We're zipping. Now. Don't see anybody coming in or going out. Nope. I got MK Studios Philadelphia a few days ago, and I'm glad I did. This is actually a quite enjoyable looking piece of scenery, based on my experience. That looks really realistic. There's plenty that's actually not modeled, but there are plenty of terminal areas that are. So I respect their decision to not model every single, major hallway in the terminal. That's fine. It looks really good as is. So I'm not worried about it. As always, folks, let me know if the volume is too quiet or too loud, or need me to adjust my microphone. Definitely want to make sure I'm taking care of you guys and making the experience an enjoyable one. Okay, let's go ahead and hold short here while we finish our setup. And take a look at the checklist real fast. Okay, before takeoff, brakes, check. Takeoff configuration, we have flaps 1. And initial climb is going to be 190, 19,000 feet. And flight instruments, we have our transponder, on altitude reporting. Parking brake is currently on, that's fine. And CAS messages have been checked. Okay, so lights are already set for takeoff, nav strobe. We should be good to go. Let's go ahead and release the parking brake and get on out of here because there's nobody coming in and nobody going out. Huh? See, look at that. I was just talking about it. Okay. All right. So gotta pay attention to that airliner lining up at 27 right. Otherwise, we should be good. Let's line up and hold, and just make sure that that airplane isn't taking off. Hold here. Okay, nope. We're fine. Let's give it the juice. Set. Getting on scene. Come on. There we go. Should be good. Let's rotate. There we are. Positive brake gear up. Laps up. Let's do flight level change at 170. All right, we're off. Let's go direct to Atlanta. is less than 40 nautical miles, so we need to be at 100,000 by the time we get there. I think we should be, as long as we keep the throttles pushed forward all the way. Maybe just a little bit, just to take off to 10. And away we go. And just like that, we're off to either Jersey or PA. Do have some traffic, not a factor. So I figure about 5 minutes of flying so far, so we should be fine. Winds are pretty strong at the north-northwest, about 63 knots. That's punchy. That's definitely punchy. Look at that crab. Okay, 10,000. That's Stewart. We're going to try to exit by Alpha. And then turn Charlie. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah. Turn Charlie to the general aviation ramp, which is past the passenger terminal. We will see. To the approach, which is empty, that'll be 3,000. So theoretically, let me think, I could probably go as high as 210. I wasn't sure. Is fine. Still climbing at a little bit less than 2,400 feet per minute, so I think we're going to make 210 by the time we get to our next waypoint. When we do, we'll need to immediately begin descent, of course. First flight zipping. Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you're doing well. I am doing a couple of flights today in FS 2020. I'm going to go to Stewart, then we're going to go to Block Island. Good boy. Let me know if this is better. This. I'm basically maxed out on my game. Also, this might help a bit. And I can pull the sim volume back. There we go. Alright, just like that, we're almost at cruise. It's 22 nautical miles. We're at cruise. Let's set up our drop to approach. $3,000 set. Oh wow. Look at the crosswind. It's gotten worse. 95 knots. That's strong. Somewhere over Bucks County, Pennsylvania. You're probably right. Alright, no auto throttle on this bird. I am the auto throttle, so I'm adjusting speed. So yeah, I think we've been flying for about 12 minutes at this point. So I do think total flight time will be around just short of like a half an hour. No auto throttle. This uses a FADEC system. So I used flight level change to control my airspeed and just have it modulate climb rate. So I'm going to do the same thing for descent. Alright, setting up for descent now. The descent is literally the opposite of the climb, so as I idle, it will keep diving to preserve the speed I set. So let me think. Current speed is about 300, so if I go somewhere around 15 to 1800 feet per minute, we should be set for our approach. Yeah, I think the FADEX system is also in play in other planes like the Beechcraft Premier 391A. That's a great business jet. And also, I don't know, like the ERJs, the E-jets. I think the E-jets actually have auto throttle. Same thing with the ERJs, but I think they have a FADEX system too. It's just that they have auto throttle, I don't. Okay, so about 1700 feet per minute. Could probably go a touch slower on the descent. And what do we have? What do we have? We are not that far away from Debeb and from our entry point into the RNF. Yeah, yeah, pretty sure you're right. I mean, same family of jets, so I'm pretty sure you are not wrong. I'm most likely gonna have a FADEC. Okay, and what is the weather for Stewart? We're looking at broken clouds at 6,000. Altimeter is 3039er. So let's go ahead and adjust that. Hmm. Oh, here. There we go. I'm relatively sure that I'm going to be able to do the second flight to Block Island today, but if Mrs. Digi needs help, then I might have to stop once we get to the GA area at Stewart. I'll keep you guys informed. Right now, though, I think we're okay. Good day for a flight. Um, a bit windy. Definitely not so warm out right now. I'm in no rush. I'm in seriously in no rush to get back to warm weather, but you know, it is what it is. Like, I want to enjoy the season I'm in, and I had a great winter, but you know, just take it at moment by moment. Traffic around me is minimal. Two blips, both not a factor. And how much do I have? 34 something. I want to be at 3,000, so it's about 11, 10, almost like 12. So that'd be about 40. Okay, I want to step it up a little bit. I want to punch this down to 1,800 feet per minute again. Yeah, yeah. I do like cold. Definitely do, not gonna lie. All right, so most of the traffic is coming into the greater New York Metro. We do have somebody crossing our path, but they are climbing above us, so not a factor. I might see them cross my line of sight somewhere around here. Yeah, gotta say that that intense HDR Raspberry Pi video thing you left on the Discord, I kept watching it, and there were like, I want to say there were like 15 minutes dedicated just to making sure that the install was done, and then uh, the other part after that was, I think, configuring the camera, making sure that you could actually get the signal you wanted. The hardware had some issues, I think, communicating at first, so they had to do one or two other things to get the 16-bit mode to work. But that was interesting. 1,500 feet per minute. We've got about 7,000 feet to go, and we're crossing 10,000 feet. 7,000. So let's see, 330. What are we doing? Like 25 nautical miles? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's bring it down. I'm a little behind the curve, but not horrible. Not horrible. He's. I think he literally said it during the video. He's like, he said, like, there we go. Like, we only did two things, and we have to recompile the kernel, but that's what you're here for, right? He quite literally said something like that, which was fantastic. I'm like, okay, in it for the long haul. In it for the long haul. Okay, so we're coming into Debabe, and then we need to go and finish vectoring the final. I'm going to keep that there and just keep paying attention. We are sub 9,000 feet, and we are configured for the altimeter at Stewart. Somewhere over there is, let's see, that's Brooklyn. That, I believe, is Staten Island. And this is like Bayonne. That's Manhattan, yeah. We're looking at New York over that way, way off in the distance. And the Hudson's over there too. Maybe I'll mess around with Linux tonight. Probably after I fly, I'll probably hop into Minecraft Disney and pretend I'm like at Epcot or Magic Kingdom again. Epcot is my jam when I go down there. But yeah, after I fly, I think I might make myself either some popcorn or some soup, and then take a break, go drink something, and yeah, probably what use my legs and stuff. All right. So about 22 minutes, right around time for like a 30-minute flight. It would have been easily a 2.5 to a 3 hour drive, if not more, to Stewart from Philly. Once we get within, I'd say, 5 nautical miles of Debabe, we're going to go ahead and activate vectors to final and line up for 3-4. Now, based on my experience with flying into one of the other GA airports I flew in this plane, It does actually simulate a glide slope approach with RNAV if I lock in approach mode. And we have time to do it right, so I think we should be fine. I think 2700 was the ILS, but it should probably pick up at least the localizer from that far out. There we go. Sub 10 nautical miles to the approach. The airport is over there. Yeah, right there. Right there. So, 15. We're about 25 nautical miles out. I think we should be fine as long as we stay above 3,000 feet. So I'll probably keep it locked at 3,000. If I activate the approach from DeBabe, it should go direct MEPT. That's the hope, at least. I was doing a whole bunch of projects earlier this year, both in Windows and in Linux. I think I'd like to get back into some Linux coding because, um, as long as you get the, file permissioning and command line dance taken care of, it's just like it's a nice place to be for coding using like VS Codium and whatever systems are there. I am still waiting on an answer from the other interview that I had, the other interview process that I've been on for the past couple of months. So I'm hoping that actually materializes very soon. Okay, less than 1 nautical mile. Let's go ahead, activate vectors to final. Okay, there we are. So we're going direct to Filga, but I want to go direct MEPT. Yeah. Yeah, let's go direct MEPT, please. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully your PC situation gets sorted real soon. I'm praying it does. All right, stand by. Seriously? Wow. That sounds like an achievement, bro. Congrats. GG's. Alright, almost on top of MEPT. Once we go direct Filga, I will activate approach mode. I could probably activate approach mode right now. But I'm gonna wait. I tell you what, Sogan, I'm not judging. looks like we're turning in now, so I'm going to go ahead and arm approach. At least I think I am. Yeah, glide path. Coming up on the valley now. That diamond should start coming down. And runway is in sight. Okay, winds are just from the northwest at 24. And we've got no traffic in the immediate area, so we're good. There we go, there's that diamond. Winds are a little gusty. Okay, this bird does not like coming in at like 150 or 160 knots. It really likes to be closer to the envelope. So, since there's pretty much nobody coming in behind me, I'll start to adjust once we start descending, which is roughly about now. Alright, give me flaps 1. And I'll take gear. That should definitely shave off some speed. I'll keep all cells set at 3,900 feet. And once we cross 160, I'll go flaps 2. Flaps 2. We should definitely increase our rate of descent once we get to flaps 3. 140 knots, flaps 3. Okay. So again, as long as we're going slow enough, we should be able to peel out by, I thought I said by Charlie. I think it was either Delta or Alpha, and then left on Charlie. Yeah, I specifically chose 3-4 because of the fact that it was a shorter runway. Definitely gusty. And I am working the throttles right now. We will peel off the autopilot once we get below 500. I have a distinct feeling this is going to be more of a wump than a float. It should have gone for 3.7. RA is 600, we're dropping. Okay, burrow mins. We are committed. All right, my plane. Okay, about 20 knots too fast, but that's fine. Plenty of room to roll out with this bird. Could be a three-pointer. There we go. Just fine. Yeah, that was my fault. I still came in too fast. I was afraid of a stall happening with the gusts. We will. Can we turn around? Probably can. That's fine. All right, rolling out to the end, and then we will go ahead and. Well, I can't back taxi the other way on either one of these taxiways, so I think I'm going to probably use. Let me see, hotel. Hotel's where I'm coming out to the right. Yeah. So hold on. We'll go this way. Believe me, Sogan, I was asking myself that question on final. I'm like, well, the airport's been coded in. It's just that the layout looked different. That's funny. But yes, yes, this is the place. This is a handcrafted airport. Let's clean up those flaps. So we're gonna cross to 7 at hotel, then make a right on Alpha, cross our runway, then make a left on Charlie. Don't need the landing lights anymore, but I will keep my strobes on until we go past our runway. Yeah, for all the roasting, I was right there with you. I'm like, am I sure I'm landing at Stewart? I'm fine. This was a quick zip from Philly. Yeah, literally like 37 minutes. Okay, we're good. And that's cool. Alright, so right turn on Alpha, cross the runway, left turn on Charlie. Yep. I think what gets me is just that the winds the winds are pretty strong, like really strong on approach. So I didn't want to get into a situation where I stalled it. And I mean, sheesh, we came in with enough fuel that I didn't care about, wasting more on the way in. But it definitely one of those situations where I was just like, it's too easy to wind up in a final approach stall situation and then get the one of the wings just go up and then whoosh, you're cooked. So no, I'm good. I'll gladly have a muck roast instead of a splat sandwich. Okay, so welcome to Stewart. Again, this is a bespoke airport for FS 2020. I have not flown into or out of this place much. This is one of my first. Definitely, I think my first on stream. And there we go. The GA ramp starts after the airport terminal. A roasted splat sandwich with loads of Jet A flavor. So, no, that would not be a good idea. Not a bad looking place for a bespoke airport in this was. Alright. General aviation ramp starts after this big building here. And I can probably turn at the corner. Yeah, right in. Straight in. Okay. That was a fun little hop. There we are. Alright. Uh, strobes and then lights and taxi lights off. Turn the nav light off. Cabin upwash all the way. And let's go ahead and cut the power. So, there we are. Bleeds open, pressurization mode off. Pull oxygen. Hydros AOA, wind chill heats off. Fuel pumps off. And ignition switches off. Parking brake is set. Throttle is idle. Flaps are 0. And that should do it. Let's go ahead and turn this thing off. And let's go ahead and open the door. Okay, so welcome to Stewart. Again, this is a bespoke airport for FS 2020 and probably FS 2024 as well. Let's take a quick peek around here before we call it. Let's see. Give me a little bit more juice in the camera, and we'll take a look at where we landed. Now, I'm very curious about that kind of perceived confusion that I had. So, here's the thing. This area here, all this, it feels so much more different on the map because I was thinking, super flat area, I'd be able to see the terminal, blah blah blah. These trees, this hill, made me be like, where's the terminal? So on final, coming in here, you see this runway, and basically it's like, well, where's the terminal? Where should I go? And then basically I came in with like 20 knots of extra speed, so I don't even think I touched down till just about here. And then naturally, of course, I was going to coast all the way down to hotel by this. I think this is an Air National Guard area. Well, this is. And then terminals over here. But the terminal area does look pretty nice. And again, this is bespoke, so I'm happy with what they did here. It actually looks really cool. Um, Entryway looks kind of default, but I don't care. It's detailed, and the terminal has the parallax scrolling inside of it. So it's basically just an empty building, but at the same time, it looks good. Probably looks a lot better in at night. Where they have that island there. If you mean like this, it is kind of weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm liking this though. I might have to fly in and out of here more often because it's an interesting place to land into. It's not a totally flat place. Okay, so there we go. Folks, I was planning on doing a second flight today, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call it here. I might do a redemption flight next time out of Stewart since I like this place, and we'll fly to Block Island and see what trouble we can get into there. Again, that runway is considerably smaller, so floating there is no bueno. Um, I would say that's going to be it for me. I wasn't planning on streaming today, but I just decided to go for it. Stay tuned for more on me on Discord, and we'll talk live there and just see if there's another stream that I'm going to be doing anytime soon. So I appreciate everybody that stopped by, everybody that lurked, everybody that said hello. Thank you so much, Sogan, for stopping in and keeping me company. And again, stay tuned for updates and for info. Have a great rest of your Saturday. And like I always like to say, if you want true peace, you really do want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. My friends, a privilege to fly for you today. Stay tuned. Flying the Phenom is definitely something that I'm enjoying a lot, and I'm hoping to at least fly down the eastern seaboard and maybe even fly across the country in this thing like I used to in FSX. So stay tuned. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you all. And until next time, we'll see ya.